Hello, my friend. It's Crypto Lunatic, the channel for crypto newbies. And today I asked a question to three AI engines. Who owns the most Bitcoin? And the reason that I'm asking this is that a lot of the Bitcoin maxis, when they go into Bitcoin, they talk about decentralization and freedom of currency. But what we're seeing now is increasingly institutional adoption and potential manipulation. So this is really a video just to bring to your awareness who is actually buying it, who's holding it, and not only that, but the differences in opinion between the three AI search engines, and also to bring awareness to you that a large amount of Bitcoin has been lost in the system to lost wallets as well, which makes potentially the value of it more valuable. So join me on a journey as I explore with Perplexity AI, ChatGPT, and DeepSeek, which is the winner, which is the one that is who is holding the most Bitcoins. So we start with Perplexity AI, and I've asked them all the same question. Who are the biggest holders of Bitcoin? Please list the top 20 people, companies, governments holding it and their amounts. Now, because some people have different wallets under different names, it's difficult for an engine to search and find all of this data because not everybody is transparent about their Bitcoin. Although these wallets can be found, we don't know how many little wallets that big players actually have. So you must take all of this with a pinch of salt, but it's a good thing to know for people getting into it. So this is Perplexity. Now, this is the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto that nobody knows who they are or whether they even exist at this stage or whether they're even alive because this wallet there's been no movement from it. And probably wisely so because they descend like a rash the moment that any transactions go across this wallet. So beyond that, Coinbase sitting on a very large amount. BlackRock now. This is the pros and cons. Now, is BlackRock having a large amount of Bitcoin a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I don't think many people trust BlackRock as much, but having said that, the fact that they're so heavily invested in shows the potential value of holding on to Bitcoin right now. MicroStrategy, this is Michael Saylor's company, which have been relentlessly buying Bitcoin. The US government, the Chinese government, the Grayscale Bitcoin trusts. Now you'll see that this isn't necessarily in order when we look at the amounts, estimated BTC. So the UK government, the Ukrainian government, Block One, Tether, Marathon Digital, which is a mining company, the Winklevoss twins. Now, this is interesting because they were responsible for an exchange called BlockFi that went under. A lot of people lost money under the Winklevoss twins, including myself, which is why I'm highlighting that it's very suspicious that they're sitting on such a big cash pile of Bitcoins, despite the fact a lot of their customers did make losses within that system. But nonetheless, here they are. Zappo Bank, BitMEX, Mt. Gox in bankruptcy. Look at that. The Tezos Foundation. Now, isn't that interesting that they're sitting on such a large amount? Galaxy Digital, Riot Platforms, and El Salvador's government. Now, in El Salvador, for those of you that don't know, they have gone Bitcoin native. So it is their primary currency now. They trade in Bitcoin. So notable holders, Tesla, Tim Draper, and the Bhutan government. And observations. So Satoshi Nakamoto remains the single largest holder by a wide margin with coins that have never moved since the early days of Bitcoin. So Coinbase sitting on a large amount. The initial exchange traded funds like BlackRock, IBET, and Grayscale collectively control hundreds of thousands. And governments, US, China, and UK being the top three, with Ukraine just after that. So that is Perplexity. So now we go to ChatGPT and we see this the same two, but different amounts for Coinbase, which is why we don't quite know. And see, they've got Binance on here as well. Now, Binance, their CEO, CZ, was thrown in jail under the Biden administration and had to pay a large fine for selling unregistered securities to get out of jail in the US under Biden. So whether that has taken into account their holding, I don't know. But Binance are the biggest exchange in crypto. See BlackRock here, MicroStrategy again. The Satoshi entity. So early miners believe that this is associated with the Satoshi Nakamoto, and the holdings are largely untouched. So the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which we know, Fidelity, the US government, China and UK, Ukraine, this is largely the same. Bhutan, El Salvador, Bulgaria. Marathon Digital Holdings, Tesla, Block One, GameStop. Interesting. And Trump Media and Technology Group. So there you go. Trump is invested in. And additional insights here. So the Satoshi entity is an entity that's believed by the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. The holdings remain largely unmoved, suggesting they're not actively traded. So we know about the corporate holders, we know about the government holdings, and emerging players like El Salvador and Bhutan have adopted Bitcoin as part of their national strategies, with El Salvador becoming the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender. And here I've asked DeepSeek. So again, we get Satoshi at the top. It says about the governments, the US, China, and El Salvador. MicroStrategy, Tesla, all of these that were listed before. So Hut 8 mining added to the mix. Binance on this list as well. User funds plus the largest exchange wallet. Now, Binance is the biggest exchange in the world and obviously will threaten a lot of governments because of their user base, especially the Biden administration did not like them. Different exchanges. So early Bitcoin whales, here's a wallet that nobody knows. The 1P5Z whale. The Winklevoss twins, which we've seen. Tim Draper. Roger Ver, Barry Silbert, and Lost Bitcoin. They estimate that 3 million of Bitcoin has been lost. So there you are, my friends. That gives you a rough overview of who is holding on to Bitcoin. Now, in investing, you will always hear follow the money and look who's putting the money in there. Could they rug pull it? Are they looking to manipulate it? Well, that's a different question for a different day. So initially with Bitcoin, it was Bitcoin maxis thinking that they were going to escape the institutions, that this was freedom for financial currency. But as we've seen over time, as the narrative's gone on, all of these big institutions have gone from saying, don't touch it, it's a scam, it is for gangsters and drug dealers, and now they seem to be all in. So adoption seems to be increasing. And there you have it, my friend. You can make your own decision as whether a Bitcoin is a good thing and who's holding it is a good thing. But it's always good to know who is accumulating, who's holding on to it, and where we might be going in the market. And that's my little summary through the eyes of AI. And if you've enjoyed this and you'd like more of my content, then please do subscribe to the channel. And speaking of which, there's another video just there.